Marge Piercy's What's That Smell in the Kitchen? Well, now we're really into what we call free verse. In other words, we're really not concerned with rhymes or any kind of scheme as far as rhythm, unstressed versus stressed syllables, iambic pentameter, and all of this. It's just free verse. And so, this type of poetry, students usually like this because it's easy to read. It tells a story, and it's easy to follow what's going on in the poem. So obviously, there is a lot of anger in this poem. Let's see. Women are burning dinners all across America. Steaks in Chicago, haddock in Providence. And it says, all over America, women are burning food they're supposed to bring with calico smile on platters glittering like wax. So we might start to think about, as we did with some other poems written by women, or much earlier poems like Lady Mary Wortley Montagu, what is the situation of women in society at this point in time? For example, we can talk about gender role constructs. In other words, constructs being the construction of gender roles in society. What were they like when Montague was writing? If we have looked at in this particular course the Lady Mary Wortley Montagu poem written the first year I was married, then that was a whole different time period when women first started writing than we have in a more contemporary period like Piercy's poem we're looking at now. But really, what are gender role constructs today? How do we construct the roles for what's expected of men in society today and women in society today? Things have certainly gotten much better for women, but do we have equal pay for equal work? Probably not. I mean, certainly we don't. And there are expectations placed on women to care for the home more, even today, than probably there should be. And that's certainly not the case in every marriage or in every relationship, but we haven't gone completely away from there being a difference of the expectation of men and the expectation of women. The playing field is not level. And in this poem, the speaker, really women in general, are downright angry about it. So we have a line like carbonized despair presses like a clinker from a barbecue against the back of her eyes. This person is angry. There's no question about it. And we might start to think about, if you choose to write a paper over a poem or a group of poems, how the female poets we've been reading the poems of in this course, how do those poems work together? What are the common themes? For instance, I mean, anger is certainly a theme that would play out in this poem. Is there a certain courage? Would that be a theme? Is there a theme sort of like duty? And then how do we define duty? What is the duty to the self? What is the duty to move into a better place? These gender role constructs. Does a woman necessarily have the duty of doing all the cooking? There is perhaps suffering, freedom, happiness. There are a number of themes that you can choose from in a poem like this. And as I look now at the closing lines, look, she says, once I was a roast duck on your platter with parsley, but now I am spam. So, you know, roast duck with parsley, something elegant, something that takes a lot of work. We would think of that probably as a very good meal, even if you don't like duck. But spam? Spam is something, maybe we like spam too, but it's a rather pedestrian way to cook. So she was once roast duck to be held up as something probably very nice. Now it's just spam. Maybe this is the result of how she feels after all these years of cooking for her husband. In the final line of the poem, burning dinner is not incompetence, but war. So apparently, war is about to break out, and it could be quite an uprising, according to this poem. Think about how this poem works with the other poems we're reading in the poetry section of this course. Thank you.